Hey, good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Jacinto and visitors.
Okay, let's start our activity with a prayer to be led by President Noventes.
Let us pray and come to the presence of the Lord. Our most gracious and loving Father, we adore you, we honor you, we praise you for your word. Lord God, in this afternoon we thank you for the gift of life, for the unconditional love you shared upon us. Lord, we give our thanks, Lord God. At this moment, Lord, we're asking for your Holy Spirit for guidance and give us knowledge and wisdom, especially to the debaters, O Lord, so that they can perform well. Father God, please bless our activity for today. Please bless your and watch. This is all we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Okay, please be seated.
Thank you, ma'am.
How are you this afternoon?
Feeling
Okay, so let us start this afternoon's activity with an introduction to our special guest, who will also serve as our judge for this afternoon's activity. So we have the Related Subjects Department Head, Ma'am Lolita Eleuterio. Good afternoon, ma'am. Head ng GURO Bacalian. And our expert in debate, Ma'am Cristel Palma. Good afternoon, visitors. So we also have here our timekeeper, Miss Riveros Arellano. Our moderator is Lesa Anzate. So today, we will have a debate regarding the trade law or the tax reform for acceleration and inclusion. With the motion, this House believes that trade law is beneficial for Philippine economic progress. Okay? So, to start, may I call now the moderator, Ms. Lesa Anzate.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our guests. This afternoon, we will witness a debate with a motion. This House believes that trade law is beneficial for Philippine economic progress. The two teams to debate are the government side, which is the affirmative side, and the opposition side. In the government side, I present to you Mr. Esmeraldo Sarat as the government's Prime Minister. Mark Parango as the government deputy, and lastly, Ms. Angel Aray as the government's whip. In the opposition, let us welcome Ms. Era Legarde as the opposition Prime Minister. Ms. Perchi Amparo as the opposition deputy, and Lloyd Steven Arturo as the opposition whip. Each speaker will be given 2 to 3 minutes to present their case or arguments. First, the government's Prime Minister will receive 2 to 3 minutes to present his or her case to the audience. The opposition's Prime Minister will then receive 2 to 3 minutes to present her case, followed by the presentation of arguments for 2 to 3 minutes by the government deputy and will be answered by the opposition deputy. A rebuttal will follow to be given first by the government's whip and answered by the opposition's whip. And finally, each team will present their summary to be given first by the opposition side and followed by the summary of the government side. The criteria for the debate are the following. Respect for each other team, 5 points. All statements, body language, and responses were respectful and were in appropriate language, 4 points. Statements and responses were respectful and used appropriate language, but once or twice body language was not, 3 points. Most statements and responses were respectful and in appropriate language, but there was one sarcastic remark, 2 points for statements, responses, and or body language were borderline appropriate, some sarcastic remarks, and 1 point for statements or responses and or body language were consistently not respectful. Next is information. So they will be given 5 points in all of the information in this debate thorough. 4 points for the most information presented in this debate was clear, accurate, and thorough. 3 points if the most information presented in the debate was clear and accurate but was not usually thorough. 2 points if some information was accurate but there were some minor inaccuracies. And 1 point if information had some major inaccuracies or was usually not clear. Next is the rebuttal. All counter-arguments were accurate, relevant, and strong. Then they will be given 5 points. 4 points for most counter-arguments were accurate, relevant, and strong. 3 points if most counter-arguments were accurate and relevant, but several were weak. 2 points if some counter-arguments were weak and irrelevant. And 1 point for counter-arguments were not accurate and or relevant. Next is use of facts and statistics. Every major point was well supported with several relevant facts, statistics, and or examples. They will be given 5 points. If every major point was adequately supported with relevant facts, statistics, and or examples, they will be given 4 points. 3 points if every major point was supported with facts, statistics, and or examples, but the relevance of some was questionable. 2 points if some points were supported well and others were not. 1 point if all points were not supported. And organization. All arguments were clearly tied to an idea or premise and organized in a tight, logical fashion, then they will be given 5 points. If most arguments were clearly tied to an idea or premise and organized in a tight, logical fashion, then of course they will be given 4 points. You'll be given 3 points if most arguments were clearly tied to an idea or premise and in a tight logical fashion. And 1 point if some or most arguments were clearly tied to an idea or premise and organized in a tight logical fashion. 4. Understanding of topic. The team clearly understood the topic in depth and presented their information forcefully and convincingly. They will be given 5 points. Next, they will be given 4 points if the team clearly understood the topic in depth and presented their information with ease. 3 points for the team who seemed to understand the main points of the topic and presented those with ease. 2 points for the team who seemed to understand the main topic or the points of the topic but didn't present with ease. And lastly, 1 point if the team did not show an adequate understanding of the topic. Are you ready, debaters?
Yes, we are.
So, let us start with Government Prime Minister, Mr. Esmeralda Sarat. You have 2 to 3 minutes to present your case.
To the panelists, researchers, my fellow debaters, good afternoon. So, this moment we will present the motion of the government side. This House believes that trade law is beneficial for Philippine economic progress. So the parameter has been set here, the Philippine economic progress. So trade law stands for Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion, also known as Republic Act 10963. Trade is the first package of the comprehensive tax reform program envisioned by President Duterte's administration, which seeks to correct a number of deficiencies in the tax system to make it simpler, fairer, and more effective system of bigger contribution, and the poor will benefit more from the government's programs and services. And that's according to the Department of Finance. So the tax reform aims to achieve the following. First, poverty rate reduced from 22% to 14%, uplifting some 6 million Filipinos from poverty. Second, law-abiding country. Third, peace within the country and with our neighbors. Fourth, to graduate to upper middle income country status from the current low middle income status. 5, to eradicate extreme poverty. 6, inclusive economic and political institutions where everyone has equal opportunities. And lastly, achieve high-income country status. And that's also according to the Department of Finance. Thank you.
2 to 3 minutes to present her case.
Once again, good afternoon. This House believes that trade law is not beneficial for the Philippine economic progress. So, Republic Act 10963, better known as Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion or Trade Law, is the law envisions an increased economic activity in proportion to the internal revenue system since greater excise tax on daily commodities will also be imposed. But the particular concern is the reduction in income tax is rendered meaningless by the tremendous increase in the taxes to be imposed on consumers' goods, prime commodities, medicines, electricity, and fuel. As stated in the Philippine Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index or PMI showed, higher input prices as well as job losses partly blamed on the new or increased excise tax rates on the various goods under the tax reform for acceleration and inclusion or trade law further slowed down the manufacturing growth last February. And separate, the London-based Capital Economics noted that Philippines was the only country where the average headline PMI in the first 2 months of 2018 was below its average for the fourth quarter. Next is the labor sector will demand an increased wages, which will also add to the cost of manufacturing goods and delivery service. Also stated in the PMI data, growth in the Philippine manufacturing economy lost further momentum last February, according as stated in PMI data. So the sectors, of course, sees the biggest quarter in the survey of the history was last end February. Furthermore, after seeing the 4 months of job gains, staffing numbers fell in February and at the steepest pace in the survey history, the persistent lack of capacity pressure as indicated by declining backlogs and weight on hiring. The third one is, it has a negative effect or impact on the ordinary Filipinos, especially those who are earning below minimum wage, who are already exempted from income taxes, but will have to bear the brunt of higher commodities. So, statistics have also been provided by Ibon Foundation, an independent research group which aims to inform Filipinos about socio-economic implications in the Philippine context. They found that 15.2 million Filipino families will not enjoy the same benefits as compared to the remaining 7.5 million taxpayers. Reasoning out that former are just minimum wage earners with consistent income. Lastly, there is already
The opposition's Prime Minister's speech ran for 3 minutes and 6 seconds, which is overtime. And at this moment, let us welcome the government's deputy, Mark Pirasco, to present his arguments. He will have 2 to 3 minutes to present his arguments.
With the enactment of the training law, the government expects to generate more revenues to fund its build progress and other programs. These projects will also generate jobs to common Filipinos with average income. I repeat, average income. According to the Inquirer Net, the government assured the public that inflationary effects resulting from the payment will be minimal. To cushion the effect, the government will provide targeted cash transfers to the poorest 10 million Filipinos. If you have a higher take-home pay, then you will have more money to spend. But since prices of some commodities will be higher also, then we'll have to learn to minimize our consumption. In that way, there will be more money left for savings. We do not need to live for an expensive lifestyle. Please take note that the items with a higher tax are all junk foods. Soda and other sweetened beverages are not commodities. People may live a healthier life and eventual consumption of cigarettes and liquor will be lessened. We may not feel the positive effect right now because it was just implemented this year.
The government's deputy used 1 minute and 45 seconds. So it is under time. Let us now welcome the opposition's deputy for Amparo. You have 2 to 3 minutes to present your argument.
An economic expert warns change can deliver negative effects to the economy. According to Ibon Foundation Executive Director Sonny Africa, he took as wife the Department of Finance deceitful pronouncement that the law would only have a slight impact to the economy. He pointed out that inflation rose and gross domestic product, or GDP, growth slowed down in the last 2 rounds of oil taxes increase in 1996, where the government imposed for the first time the excess tax on oil, and in 2005, when the expanded value-added tax, or EVAT, was implemented. He said that in these 2 years, on the basis of one tax, measured alone on all products, tumaas ang inflation rate, tumaas ang prices ng basic goods and services. So, I think it is very unfair for the government to say na walang epekto to. He also added that during a news forum at Annabelle's restaurant in Quezon City, he cited that inflation rate increased from 8% in 1995 to 9.1% in 1996, and GDP growth went down from 5.8% in 1996 to 5.2% in 1997. He also added that it doesn't make sense kasi kung walang epekto, ibig sabihin walang kikitain ang gobyerno. So I think it is self-contradictory for the DOF to say na walang epekto to. Kasi if the government wants to generate revenues, it comes from somewhere. Revenues comes from pockets people. So, just taxing the richest for 20% families a little bit more, pwede siya kumita ng 90 billion para sa amin. Yung tamang tax system sa Pilipinas ay dapat bumatay sa hindi pagiging pantay ng income at assets ng mga tao. And according to DOF tax calculator, the biggest winners from trade are the unskilled workers who will enjoy 4.3% bump in their monthly incomes, followed by skilled workers by 4.1%, partly skilled workers by 4%, professionals by 3.8%, and the middle class or the middle wage users who are 3.3%. Lord Agapito, a 25-year-old market analyst of a research firm, got what he wanted, higher take-home pay, but he did not expect that a higher monthly household bill would offset the gains he would receive from the newly implemented tax reform for acceleration and inclusion law. He earned 13,000 monthly and saved 3,438 a month because of the new withholding tax rates. But he said he decided to stick to his Toyota Vios instead of upgrading to a new car, given the hike in auto excise tax which mainly hit mass market vehicles. Thank you.
Opposition deputy used 2 minutes and 51 seconds. So, for now, the rebuttal has been presented. Let us listen to the government's bid. So, may I call on Angel Oray to present her argument.
Okay. So you stated, or your arguments, or you mentioned that the reduction in income tax is rendered meaningless by the tremendous increase in the taxes to be imposed on consumer goods, prime commodities, medicines, electricity, and fuel. So according to DTI, naglalaro lang sa apat hanggang 14 na sentimos ang magiging adjustment sa sardinas, law of bread. So, the increase of taxes, which is fuel, is just minimal. It will go directly to the fund, which is the Build program, and this Build program will be beneficial to the whole country. So also you stated that the labor sector will demand an increase in wages, which will also add to the cost of manufacturing goods and and delivery of services. So, it was just a small sacrifice to create a bigger and more beneficial to the future, which is full possibility. And between 2017 and 2012, hire an additional 2,424 doctors. So you stated a while ago the job loss. So I have here that there are additional hiring 2,424 doctors. We also have this 29,466 nurses, the dentist, which is 1,114, the pharmacies, we have 3,288. So it's really beneficial. This trade law is really beneficial to the economic progress of our country. That's all.
So, the government's whip HRI speech ran for 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So to hear the counter argument of the opposition's whip, may I call on Loy, Steven, and Turo.
So our motion is trade law is not beneficial to Philippine economy. As stated by the government side, the trade law will benefit the poor more. But however, the increase in fuel price is also an increase on the fare among travelers that could be additional burden for them. So deficiency. If we just properly collected the tax among big taxpayer, it would be enough to support the government's project or the build project. Nevertheless, the main problem is the collection of taxes. So I think that we don't need the trade law. Instead, we can stick to the old tax system for the Philippine economic growth. So please, higher prices will starve the consumer and it will be increase the criminality rate because they are pushed to do due to starvation. So sticking to the centavos, well, it is evident that 4 pesos increase and it is not 4.4 to 14 centavos because from 14 pesos to 18 pesos of a 1 can sardines. So generate jobs. People who can get a job are those who are close to the heart of the employer. So the poverty rate, as you said earlier, will decrease. It will not decrease since it will be additional burden to the average and low-wage earner as the high tax on goods, services, and commodities. So we are just looking on the production prices, but we are not looking on the shipment because it will just increase the prices since the fuel prices also increase. So the shipment fee will also increase. So in conclusion, higher tax pay home is meaningless because of the tremendous increase on the consumer's goods and services, electricity and fuel. So that's all. Thank you.
The opposition's speech ran for 2 minutes and 1 second. So we have heard the arguments and rebuttal of each side. For the final round, let us listen to the summary of the opposition side to be presented by either the prime or the deputy. Okay, our summary will be presented by the Prime Minister of the opposition side. I guess. Okay.
Allow me to present a summary. The reduction in income tax is rendered meaningless by the tremendous increase in the taxes to be imposed on consumers' goods, prime commodities, medicines, electricity, and fuel. Thus, higher take-home pay is meaningless because of the tremendous increase in consumers' needs. Thank you.
So now I call on the Prime Minister, the government's Prime Minister, Mr. Esmeralda Sarat, to present their summary.
So trade law is very beneficial among Philippine economic progress because it seeks to correct a number of deficiencies in the tax system to make it simpler, fairer, and more effective system tax collection. So with the enactment of trade law, the government expects to generate more revenues to fund its build projects and other programs. These projects will also generate jobs to common Filipinos with average incomes. So once again, according to the Department of Finance, the tax reform aims to achieve the following: poverty rate reduced from 22% to 14%, law-abiding country, peace within the country and with our neighbors, to graduate to upper middle income country status from the current low middle income status, eradicate extreme poverty, inclusive economic and political institutions where everyone has equal opportunities. So based on our arguments, we believe that tax reform for acceleration and inclusion law is very beneficial for Philippine economic progress. Thank you.
Thank you, debaters, for your substantial and persuasive arguments. So at this very moment, you can now shake the hands of your opponents.
Okay, thank you, debaters. So, class, you have heard the arguments of both sides. So, in your own point of view, do you believe that the trade law is beneficial for Philippine economic progress? In your own point of view, or according to what you have heard a while ago with the arguments of both sides? Anybody who will give his or her opinion? Yes, Angelo?
In my opinion, I will agree, but from the trade law is beneficial for Philippine economic progress because that law will make our country progressive.
In what way?
From the economic status of our country will be progressive. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo. Okay, who else will give their opinion? What about from this side? Yes, Clemente?
For me, trade law is not beneficial because it will just an additional burden to the poor.
Why did you say that it is an additional burden to the poor? Can you support your answer?
Because of the tax additional tax.
There is an additional tax in, according to the government side a while ago, that the taxes were eliminated, minimal. So, which taxes did you mean?
Full taxes. Full taxes.
Full taxes. Okay, who else? Last one? Who will give the opinion? Just your opinion about the debate. Yes.
opinion, I would decide that in a government side because I believe that this trade law is a beneficial for Philippine economic progress because again, for I believe magdagdag siya work and through the build program and then economic state of country mas mo progress na siya o mag-develop siya kayo and then in addition the population or the poverty rate will kanang bububo siya ma'am. That would be all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that answer, PA. Okay, what about in your life as a Filipino citizen, as a student? Does trade law affect your life or in your family? Anyone? Who will answer? Okay, let's hear the government prime minister.
So in reality, trade law is really beneficial to Philippine economic progress, most especially for me as a student and my family because we are a four-piece recipient of the Pantawid Pamilyang Filipino program recipient in which when our president promised that he will give an additional increase to the cash assistance. So it has been, I witnessed that it is really, he really gave an additional cash assistance to the purpose recipients like me. Thank you.
Okay, very well said. Who else? Who will share their own opinion in your life? Does this trade law affect us? Affect you? Yes, Teresa?
So I will stand on the opposition side, in which I believe that this trade law is not that beneficial for Philippine economic progress. Since I believe that we must first see the loopholes in the government. Because if you will be just formulating another law regarding on how to solve poverty, just like this trade law. So how about the state or the cases of corruption in the Philippines? This state of corruption in the Philippines is really a problem. And if we are giving this money towards the government officials, then there is no assurance that this money will be used well. So the conduct of this trade law is useless.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. So, since it's already a law, so we cannot do otherwise but to accept, believe. Okay, so since this trade law just took effect last January 2018, so 2 months ago, in my own opinion, it is earlier for us to judge whether this trade law is beneficial or not. Okay, but for me, in my case, as a salaried teacher, salaried employee, I gained a lot from this trade law. Okay, so since my withholding tax last year is, I guess, 2,000 plus, but now lower to 200 plus. So in that case, I have a big savings, right? I have more money compared to last year. So siguro in the case of price increase, maybe we will just cut our expenses. We'll have cost cutting for our expenses so that we can prioritize those that really need the needs of our family. So that's the way we're going to cope with this trade law. Okay? So thank you everyone. For your last activity, I will be giving you 10 minutes to write a critical reflection regarding the debate. Okay, so your 10 minutes starts now.
I swear I love you in a different way.